Get into the trenches, dig into your purpose, and fire up your life's fulfillment. The Ambitious Vet Podcast starts now.
Hey, what's going on, Ambitious Vet? Chris Hoffman here, your host of the Ambitious Vet Show. Just want to welcome you here for another episode as we seek to continue to provide you with the golden grenades you need to break through to new levels of life satisfaction or individual success in everyday life. In trenches of your life, that is. So just wanted to give you a brief update. Me and my wife just came back from Sicily, Italy for our not only our 2-year anniversary, but also our honeymoon. I was actually 2 years late with our honeymoon, and my joke around that is one, COVID, but two, hey, the best way to keep the honeymoon phase extending is go on the honeymoon 2 years later. We got our arguments done in the first couple of days, and then ended the week right where we needed to be, being intimate and romantic. Hoorah, right? So amazing experience in Italy. Definitely just being over there in Europe with everything that's going on in the world. It was just great to kind of see how the Italians are, kind of dealing with it all. From what I could tell from just a Sicilian standpoint is, they're just very laid back, very, their temperament is just really just, generous is, in other words, just wanting to go out there and give, regardless of what is potentially going on in the world. They just want to give. And I'm going to take that lesson on in my everyday life, ongoingly, as long as I can, is just being more generous, not just chasing the dollar, being in this Darwinism, this dog-eat-dog world that we can potentially find ourselves in whenever everything is increasing with inflation. It was a really good breath of fresh air to just see the generosity within a very touristy city like Sicily. More specifically, we were in Taormina, which is the east side of Sicily, where most of their revenue is just through summertime with tourists, and still being as generous as they were with different things that we would just do. We'd be like, hey, we would charge for that. We would charge extra for that, but they're giving us that for free. This is crazy. But just want to pass on that message. That was a really awesome takeaway for myself as far as just being around the Italian culture, is how generous they are, regardless of the economical crisis that they could potentially be going through. So with that being said, also just want to give you a brief update on just the last event and first event that we had inside the Ambitious Vet platform. Frank Molinar came in and absolutely killed it. He is a certified financial planner and came in and provided financial resilience 101, stopping the bleeding, and knocked that masterclass out of the park. We had a great turnout. We are in the process of distributing out all the promised deliverables for the first 10 registrants that registered for that live online event that happened exclusively inside of our platform. So Ambitious Vet, if you have not already, please apply for the Ambitious Vet platform. If you listen to this and you're wanting to dive a little bit more deeper with other ambitious vets that are growth-minded, really believe in personal development and improving every day in the life of the trenches, make sure you go in and apply for the platform. It's as easy as going to ambitiousvetnetwork.com and hit apply to platform. That will get the onboarding process started. Looking forward to really just seeing you there. The next event that's happening in October, we're bringing in a really good friend of mine, David Pierre, who runs Military to Millionaire, and he's going to be talking about how to leverage the VA home loan to house hack and actually diversify your income during these times of inflation so you can be bulletproof financially. So the idea behind the first couple live online events within our new platform is how the hell do we become unstoppable with our money? Financial resilience with Frank Molinar. Now, how do we diversify, build wealth through real estate? The first couple steps, led by David Pierre, which is a prior Marine or Marine veteran. So I'm excited for him to come in and talk about different house hacking tips, leveraging the VA home loan. So make sure you go in and apply for the platform. Other than that, Ambitious Vet, with this episode, I just want to give you some quick updates because I think this is important. It helps provide you perspective on how hard, our nation is working on our benefits and just like our ability to not isolate ourselves and combat our suicide ideation. I don't know about you, but I had a really good friend of mine and colleague and previous guest on this podcast commit suicide just a few months ago. Ran a big veteran service organization, and I can just tell you this is the risk factors. You may or may not see them, but everyone's potentially dealing with them. So I want you to kind of see the bigger perspective of how hard government and different entities without the United States are really working their ass off to make sure that we're all staying in good shape and thriving in our life post-military. So how do I want to do that? Well, I want to dive into just the VA, right? They just got approved $268 billion in fiscal year 2022, and they have not held back with how they plan on spending that. They're going to allocate $174 million over the next 3 years to 80 veteran service organizations across the United States that are helping with suicide prevention type things. So they're really not thinking they have it all figured out. We all know the VA can move slow sometimes. They have this whole modernization type initiative, but I love that they're going to going to the streets, going down to the people that are inside the trenches every single day to improve the overall wellness of veterans. And they've really done a great job with that and funding those organizations to make sure they're bringing those innovative solutions. Not only that, but they also opened up a mission break grant that is a total of $20 million that they're rewarding across 30, not just veteran service organizations or nonprofits, but to just startup companies, institutions, organizations that may not be led by veterans, but have innovative technology or solutions or products to really help combat suicide amongst veterans, which is just really awesome stuff. I'll have all those links, all those organizations for you to go and check out inside the show notes below. Over 100 plus organizations now just got funded to help with suicide prevention. And I really just encourage you, if it's locally around you, make sure you're spreading the word because obviously the VA is throwing money at them. Their quality, right? The screening process for these grants are like bar none. Other than that, I want to wrap up with this episode through education, right? I think that it's been announced recently that the GI Bill rates are going to be improving. I enjoyed diving into this Ambitious Vet because I saw where all of our GI Bill, our Montgomery Bill for people that were prior post 9/11, where all of it can actually go. I was really surprised that you can actually apply the GI Bill to apprenticeship programs, on the job training type stuff, vocational schools, credentialing and licensing. And now another cool change that I read up on, and I'll put the link in the show notes below, is the monthly housing allowance is going to be increasing, right? So based on where you're at, how bad your local community or where you're trying to go to school is impacted by inflation, they're actually impacting those numbers to meet your needs so you can be economically sound as you look to upskill and gain more human capital, which I think is incredible. Feel free to enjoy that link, dive in, see the different rates that they're announcing for fiscal year 2023 for any of you that are just interested in upskilling this year, maybe gaining a new credential in your new industry, maybe to get that raise. Or maybe you're someone listening to this that just wants to get their master's degree on, continuing education or bachelor's, looking at different options and rates to help fund your education. It's so important. Quick funny story. when I got out of the United States Marine Corps back in 2012, I still hated formal education. I joined the United States Marine Corps to avoid formal education. In fact, I was failing out hard from a community college outside of St. Louis. And then funny thing is, got out of the Marine Corps, just did not want to do formal education at all. But I mean, I was just like, in my head, I was like, man, it's free. Why not? Why not go and pursue it and get some kind of degree, in my case, a psychology degree that would help me just kind of leverage it for opportunity in the future. It really does make a difference no matter if you like it or not. If you're trying to avoid it, why not take advantage of these benefits? So, Ambitious Vet, I'm excited to share these announcements. And if you haven't already, go make sure to go and apply for the Ambitious Vet platform. There, you're going to be able to gain access to monthly live online events, courses, and lifetime accountability with other veterans just like yourself that are looking to grow and advance in the trenches of everyday life. Make sure you go do that, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side of that. Until next time, hold the vision and trust the process. Take care.
The Ambitious Vet is available on all popular podcast platforms. Go to vettrainingcoaching.com to subscribe, rate, and share with fellow vets.